video, and today I'm going to be doing an expansion team in NBA 2K23. I finally have an Xbox Series X, so I can play next gen 2K, and I'm doing the Honolulu Breeze because I loved their branding. Now my thinking here in the expansion draft, those first two picks, Klay Thompson, DeAndre Ayton, I want players that I can flip for picks, young players. Then I get Jalen Duren and I get Aldama, and I think here I grab Jaden McDaniels. He has 3-point shot there. So I'm getting guys that I can build a young core around, and then I'm getting guys that I can trade for picks, for prospects, things like that, you know. Because the whole point of this is I want to build a long-term young team that's maybe like 2 to 3 years away from competing. And I see here New York has left Quentin Grimes available. Gotta pick him. 6'5" shooting guard, he can nail threes. If you saw Quentin Grimes in the Rising Stars game, you saw that he was just an absolute monster. There's not a lot of guys here that I think really have that much trade value left. I'll grab Lonnie Walker. John Collins up there's kind of tempting. I grab him just to be a trade piece. Been looking, Kyle Lowry's too old. We have a lot of bigs already. With like Aldama and Duren. I see Grant Williams here. He's interesting because he's kind of a stretch 4, so I grab him, just to get that shooting on the team. Because that's kind of how I always build teams. I like to have a lot of perimeter shooting and defense built around like 1 or 2 playmakers, pretty much. Isaiah Joe, Jalen McDaniels here. I decided to take Joe at the 2-guard spot. I'm low on point guards, so I'm like, let me just look through point guards here. RJ Hampton, he's a 6'4" point guard, only 21 years old, so that's kind of appealing there. He has a lot of room to grow. Then looking through this list, some of these guys are just not, appetizing, but Matisse Thybulle, he could be a decent player for now, but also somebody that we could, get some value for down the line, for sure. Jackson Hayes, 22, 7-foot center, gotta do that. So we have our team now, but it's time to get into some trades, and our big trade piece here is, of course, Klay Thompson. 2 years on his deal, great shooter, 3-and-D player, and there's a lot of interesting looking deals here. Lauri Markkanen, but we had to throw in a first. De'Aaron Fox, we had to throw in a first. I'm not too sure I really want to give up a first-round pick at this point because we're trying to build through the draft. But this is interesting to me. De'Aaron Fox, he's only 24 years old. We have him for 4 years, and that's like a late pick. So I decided to pull the trigger on that, just because, I don't know, it seemed, De'Aaron Fox, he's somebody that we could build around. We have team control over him for 4 years, but now we need to get something for Ayton. And you ask the Phoenix Suns how it goes trying to get a trade for Ayton. It's not the easiest. Some of these options aren't the best. Kristaps, a little bit too old. Johnny Davis is a bust. Gobert, we got the pick there, but I don't really want to deal with Gobert. But this trade here, it feels like a no-brainer. We're upgrading at both positions. Şengün's better than Ayton. Kevin Porter Jr. is better than Lonnie Walker. And Kevin Porter's only 22. He has a 3-year deal. That's somebody that he can be our backup point guard behind De'Aaron Fox, or even depending on his development, he could take over over for De'Aaron Fox at some point in the future. So that seemed like a no-brainer trade to me, and Şengün's one of the best young centers in the entire league. And we got rid of Hayden's huge contract. So now we're trying to get John Collins out of here. Again, ask Atlanta how easy that is. It's not very easy. Kyle Lowry in a first, but then you need to deal with Kyle Lowry. And we want to develop our young players, but this one here, a first-round pick in next year's draft. And we get Kenrick Williams, who's kind of a whatever player, but we still have a power forward spot because we're getting rid of our power forward. So he's somebody that can play if we can't move him. And we get that 24 first from the Thunder. So we did that trade there, and we're just trying to load up on draft picks here. And we are disgusting at the point guard position. But Şengün, Duren, Achua, and Jackson Hayes, we just have way too many centers. Like, Şengün and Duren are both starting quality centers. They just are. They're both, elite big men. So we need to get some of this log jam out of here. So we're trying to move Precious Achua. And I really want to get a first-round pick for him here. I see this at 25 first and Evan Fournier from the Knicks. It's kind of an interesting one. 2 years away for that first. Derek White. But we do have a second. That's a 26 first-round pick, so a few more years down the road. But this one here, this is a pick in 24, so 2 years away, and we get a point guard, Jordan McLaughlin. He's not going to play, but when we get a pick in 2 years from now draft, that's pretty good. But now we're trying to move Kenrick Williams, who we got in the Christian Wood trade. And I see a top 5 protected first, and Isaiah Todd from the Wizards. I don't really want to pick with any sort of protections on it, to be honest. I'm trying to get unprotected picks. A 25 first in Garrett Temple is super interesting. I mean, we get the first round pick, and we deal with Garrett Temple is not great, but then we get a 26 first, and I forget what that guy was. But yeah, just looking, and I mean, honestly, nothing really comes close to that Garrett Temple deal. We can flip Garrett Temple, but we get a New Orleans Pelican 25 first. That feels like a no-brainer to me. Then we just have to keep firing up the trade machine. Temple, McLaughlin. See if we can package them together for something. A 26 first and Dylan Windler, so we get off those two old guys. We get rid of a second, but we get a first, we upgrade our pick. None of these other deals are really coming as close, but Dylan Windler in a first for a second. Garrett Temple, Jordan McLaughlin, two guys who aren't going to play, right? And we just keep getting more and more picks. Is there anybody else I tried to get rid of here? Oh yeah, Windler. The guy who we just got. I don't think we're getting a first rate thing for him. Like, he's not any sort of desirable player, right? But so I take a look at Thibault. I think Thibault could have some value. He can't really score, but his defense is elite. Ever since he left Philly, he's been playing pretty decent in Portland before the All-Star break. So we see what we could have gotten a first. I think to take on Duncan Robinson's just albatross contract, which I'm not really interested in doing. Then I see if I can't package them together, Windler and Thibault. Let's see if we get something for the two of them. And we can send Thibault and Windler for Evan Fournier and a New York Knicks 2025 first round pick. Or Malik Beasley and a 2026 first round pick. So, I mean, either way, we're getting a pick. One of them is a year sooner, obviously. And Evan Evan Fournier has a bit of a bigger contract. He's a bit older, but I don't think it'd be impossible to move Fournier if we wanted to. But now, this is the part that I wanted to do from the beginning. The player I want to build around, Shaedon Sharpe. I'm a Blazers fan, you guys know that. I'm super high on Shaedon Sharpe. I think he has superstar potential. No, I can't trade Evan Fournier for him because the contracts don't make sense. But I have a player that the Blazers might be interested in Jackson Hayes, a young defensive center. And I now have a litany of draft capital to send. I have 3 first-round picks in 2024. I have in 2025, I have 3 first-round picks. I have 2 first-round picks in 2026. I have the draft capital to move for Shaedon Sharpe. And like I said, in real life, I think this guy has superstar potential, and in 2K, his development in 2K is absolutely insane. He becomes elite. And I get Shaedon Sharpe for Jackson Hayes, 3 first-round picks, and 2 second-round picks. Maybe a bit of a steep deal, but trust me when I say Shaedon Sharpe in 2K23 is an elite player, and he's a guy I can build this team around. And I think our starting lineup here is pretty good. De'Aaron Fox, Shaedon Sharpe. We're simulating up to the All-Star break here. We're at 22-31 win-loss record. And I just want to look at the All-Star picks here. LeBron James and James Harden in the East is your captains. Steph Curry, Jokic, Doncic, Durant. No real surprises here in the All-Star teams. Except maybe Julius Randle getting in again is a bit of a surprise. No Damian Lillard. Kind of shocking, but 2K kind of does Dame dirty. I'm trying to trade RJ Hampton here because he's not getting any minutes, and we get another first-round pick plus Patrick Baldwin. Now this is our lineup: Fox, Sharpe, McDaniels, Williams, Durant, Porter Jr. off the bench, Isaiah Joe, Quentin Grimes, Fournier off the bench, Aldama off the bench, but I want to give Patrick Baldwin Jr. Evan Fournier's minutes because Fournier is not in my future plans for this team. He's a guy we're going to trade. And we're just simming out the end of our first season here, 34-45, 34-46. I mean, we're ending with a losing record, which is what we want. Luka wins MVP, Walker Kessler Rookie of the Year. We do not make the playoffs, thankfully. We want to be in the lottery. So we're simulating the playoffs. And you have LeBron James winning Western Conference Finals MVP, Tatum Eastern Conference. We have Lakers versus Celtics in the finals. Like the big rivalry. And the Celtics win it. Jason Tatum is your finals MVP. But they better, they have to win it while they can because the Honolulu breeze is coming. League meetings, we just approved this little change to the All-Star game. I think it makes it a little bit more interesting, but now the draft lottery. We have 2.9% chance to get the first pick, and we do. And you see, I just kind of paused here for a while because I was in shock at the fact that we won the draft lottery. I was planning to move heaven and earth to trade for that number 1 pick, but I didn't even have to trade for it. We just got it with like a less than a 3% chance. And the Honolulu Breeze draft Victor Wembanyama first overall. Now this creates a little bit of an issue because Alperen Sengun and Jalen Duren, I have both of them in my 5 spot, right? I have some very good elite big men here. And now I'm adding Victor Wembanyama into that mix. It's going to be difficult. But, and look at that, Shaedon Sharpe's already up to a 79. Fox and Porter. I'm looking to see if I can trade De'Aaron Fox because we have Porter Jr. now. And, I feel like he could be our starter. I feel like he's just as good. He's younger. He's cheaper. So I'm seeing what's on the market for De'Aaron Fox. Jalen Brunson in a first is very interesting. Lauri Markkanen and Walker Kessler, who just won Rookie of the Year. And Lauri Markkanen was most improved player. Like, I could have gotten the Rookie of the Year and the MIP in one trade. Ultimately, I decided not to trade Fox yet. I simmed the end of the draft. 85 overall Victor Wembanyama coming out of the draft. Scoot Henderson falls to the Jazz at 3, the second best player in the draft overall wise. I'm just kind of scrolling through there, but I'm honestly shocked that we got that first overall pick. That's just crazy. We're bringing everybody back on their team options. I'm happy with everybody there. Bring back Grant Williams. We're offering him the qualifying offer. You know, he's decent 24 stretch 4. We can keep Grant Williams. I'm fine with that. Moratorium here. We're announcing Klay Thompson's trade exception. We're announcing. Do we announce Grant Williams? No, we keep him. And we go all through the moratorium. There's not really anybody. I don't feel like needing to grab anybody in free agency here. I feel like our team is really solid going into next season, and bringing a free agent might mess that up. As you can see, I'm really contemplating trading De'Aaron Fox here. Like, Kevin Porter Jr. is only 7 overall points behind him. He's a little bit taller. He's younger. He's cheaper. So I'm like, alright, let's hop back into the trade finder for De'Aaron Fox, because now I'm really wondering, like, because if I have to pay Wembanyama soon, if I have to pay Sharp soon, Grimes maybe, like, there's guys I need to give contracts to, and I'm not sure I'm going to be able to afford to pay Fox, but first I'm looking at Fournier, and the Suns just give me 2 unprotected picks for Fournier, and I get off his big money, so I'm like, alright, well, that's one problem solved. I'm looking for Fox or Anthony Simons in this year little. Now, I love Anthony Simons. Like, you know, I'm a Blazer fan, like I said. I think he also has really sky-high potential. But I don't know if he's worth a trade for De'Aaron Fox, Jeremy Sochan, and a first. Sochan's good, but we have so many bigs on this team already that are elite. Matherin and Isaiah Jackson. Matherin's interesting, but he can't really shoot, which is what I need at the 3 right now. Brunson in a first. Brunson's making less money, less years, same age. Actually, he's a bit older. He's shorter, but I get the first, but I don't really feel like it. I ultimately feel like that's not really worth it. Darius Garland. Now, this is the one that I really struggle with. Now, Garland is younger. He's a little bit shorter, but we have him for 5 years on less money than De'Aaron Fox. Excuse me, actually a little bit more. He's a little bit worse, but like I said, he is younger, but he's shorter. And he's not as good at some of the things De'Aaron Fox is. He doesn't have the athleticism De'Aaron Fox has. And you're going to see me struggle with this one for a while. I left this all in just so you guys could kind of see, like, my thought process play out here. I keep just going back here and staring at this Darius Garland trade. I'm, like, very, very contemplative of this one. You see, I'm, like, looking at him. Looking at his durability. I come look at De'Aaron Fox's durability. Like, I don't even know what I'm looking at this point. I'm just trying to compare them in some way, shape, or form. And then I do something I've never done before in 2K. I use the player comparison. So on my side, I put in De'Aaron Fox. And on the other side, I go to the Cavs and I throw in Garland, and I'm comparing their strengths. Offensive IQ is about the same for both. De'Aaron Fox has agility and layups. Garland has ball handling and passing. Now, ball handling and passing is also a strength for Fox, but Garland, wasn't as good in some other categories. the height, that's in De'Aaron's favor. Wingspan's in De'Aaron's favor. Looking at the matchup, Darius Garland has more liabilities. His layups is a liability. Offensive, defensive IQ, his passing steals. Whereas De'Aaron Fox only has one liability. Everything else is at least average. Just looking at that matchup, I'm kind of sitting here like, man, like all the stats are kind of telling me De'Aaron is the better player. Like I've been very tempted by this trade. Like I never do this kind of thing. Look at this. Minutes per game, points. De'Aaron's better there. He's better at rebounds. Worse in assists. It has to be said. And again, Garland just has more liabilities than Fox here. Looking at all the categories in the aggregates, 3-point scoring, he's better. Mid-range scoring's about the same. De'Aaron's better at layups, better at dunks. And looking at the badges, De'Aaron has more badges. He has a better field goal percentage in pretty much every category except for 2. He has fewer weaknesses. So I'm like, alright, let's go back into the free agency here, see what I need to do. Like, I've decided not to trade De'Aaron Fox or Darius Garland. I'm looking at Gary Trent Jr., I'm looking at Cam Johnson because I need a small forward. That's my only real weakness right now, is small forward. And I decided to take Cameron Johnson over Gary Trent Jr. He's a little bit taller, he has a bigger wingspan, he has a better 3-point attribute, and he's a true small forward. Alright, so now I'm going back into my trade finder. And I'm like, as much as it hurts me, I need to move one of my big men. So let's see what we can get for Şengün, because he's going to demand a lot of money. Wembanyama is everything Şengün is, but a little bit better. And then we have Duren, who's kind of like a more traditional center, more physical. But Şengün and Wembanyama kind of feel like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like repetitive, or, they're similar. I don't need both. And Şengün has a lot of value in this league. A lot of value. This one interested me just because I got a first-round pick, but Josh Green, kind of not what I'm looking for. They have this trade here, a straight-up swap for Lauri Markkanen. Lauri, who just won Most Improved, 3-point sniper, amazing scorer, small forward but big for his position. He can play the 4, he could even play the 5 in a small ball lineup if we needed him to. He's a little bit older, but he's the same age as Fox, so he's on that same timeline. And I make the swap. It may be a mistake, but this is our starting lineup. De'Aaron Fox, Quentin Grimes, Lauri Markkanen. Then we have Santi Aldama, Jalen Duren, Wembanyama off the bench, but getting more minutes. Shaedon Sharpe now at an 82 coming off the bench. Kevin Porter Jr., Jaden McDaniels, Cam Johnson. Then Isaiah Joe at that 11th spot. We just put in a little bit of gameplay here just to show off the court and the jerseys. I mean, look at this beautiful, beautiful court. Here comes Jokic and blocked by Jalen Duren. Like, Wembanyama is getting more minutes, but it makes sense why we have Duren in the starting lineup, because we have a lot of scoring in a starting lineup. So Wembanyama off the bench to be like a spark plug with Shaedon Sharpe just kind of makes sense. And look at that, Duren just completely bothering Jokic inside. We got Quentin Grimes here into Duren, slammed it down. He's basically showing us like, yeah, it's alright, you guys moved Şengün, like, you got me, don't worry about it. And yeah, like I said, I just wanted to show off a bit of this court and these jerseys. I think this Honolulu Breeze branding, this is like one of the pre-built teams in 2K23. This is so nice looking, like it's just sexy, the pink and the blue, and you guys know I'm a sucker for these colors in the first place, but I just love the look of this. Out to Markkanen, break from Markkanen, but that's alright. Fox. Out to Markkinen again. Thinks about it. Into Fox. Aldama sets the pick. Out to Lowry. Bang. His first three for the Breeze. Take a 3-point lead there. I don't know. Long term, I might regret moving Şengün for Markkinen, especially because Markkinen needs a new contract. He's gonna be a lot of money. But like a majority of my team is on rookie contracts. They're on controlled deals. I have Fox long term. I just locked up Johnson. Like, I think it'll be okay. I can get rid of some guys if I really need to, but here's Victor's first minutes on the team. I just wanted to show a little bit of Wembanyama playing here. He's matched up with Thomas Bryant, but Thomas Bryant isn't a scoring threat outside the paint, so I'm kind of just roaming around with Wembanyama. Up to Shaedon Sharpe. Shaedon Sharpe goes left hand. Switch, right. Out to Porter Jr. for three. Misses, but Wemby gets the rebound and just slams it down. Doesn't even leave his feet. Just disgusting from Wembanyama. Okay, left his feet a little bit. Into Wembanyama again. The little pump. And then puts it in. Dude is just like a game breaker, honestly. Like, I was so happy we were able to get that first overall pick and get him. Like, he just completely changes, like, the outlook for this team. And if we didn't get the first overall pick, you know, we still would have had Şengün, and that would have been fine. But Wembanyama is just such a game breaker, man. Like, Porter Jr., McDaniels, surveying back to Porter. Our bench point guard is like a starting point guard quality. And Wembanyama with the and one. This team does have crazy depth, though. Like, our bench center is Wembanyama. If Duren eventually comes off the bench, he's a starter quality. Porter Jr. is starter quality. Like, our bench is wild. Into Fox, inside. Nice little tough bucket. Look at this cut from Fox. Look at that cut. Just goes back door. They can't get the hand on it. Very nice. Wembanyama gets 19, 13, 5, 4 blocks in his debut. We lose by 6 to the Nuggets, but that's alright. And this is where we stand right now. I look at the mock draft to see if I know any of these guys, but I really don't. But yeah, guys, this is episode 1 of our Honolulu Breeze expansion. I hope you liked the video. Probably gonna do one of these a week or once every 2 weeks or something. I don't know, but if you liked it, please leave a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel for more content just like this almost every single day. Till next time, guys.